Let's take a moment and pray. Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for the blessing of this day. Father, thank you for all the grace and the mercy you show us. Thank you for the gift of salvation. And Father, we thank you for the privilege that we have of living where we live. We thank you for our neighbors and our community. Father, as the City Council gathers tonight to discuss the city's business with the public and the department heads, I pray that you would give everyone involved wisdom that only your Spirit can give. And Father, I pray for the city employees as they go about their work and their duties, as they're out on the streets. Father, that you would keep them safe. Father, I thank you for the moisture that we received in the last few days. And Father, I thank you for the people that have stepped forward to help those in need as well, frankly, the disaster from the storm that came through, or storms. Father, I ask that you would be with those that had their property damaged and injured. I thank you that no one was killed in that. Father, I thank you for the community that we live in, that we will recover from what happened. Father, give the city council and the department heads and the city employees wisdom as they discuss the city's business tonight. And in your Son's name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. We'll call the meeting to order and begin with the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Excuse me. I'd entertain a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
So moved. Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, motion is made and second to approve tonight's agenda. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Would also entertain a motion to approve the minutes of June 15th and the special meeting on June 29th.
Move to approve. Oops.
One of you want a second?
Second.
Okay. Motion has been made and second to approve the minutes from June 15th and the special meeting on June 29th. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Public input,
I have some.
please.
What I have is I would like to thank the city for the use of the park, and in particular, what I'm thanking you for is the use of the park for Vacation Bible School for First Baptist Church. Just about every year since 2000, we have had Vacation Bible School in Crystal Park, and it has worked out very well. It has become a tradition with our church and with the community. I've spoken with Ron tonight about this and spoken with him over the years. It's worked out very well, and the city has a beautiful and excellent park at Crystal Park. It's well maintained, and we're far and away from the only ones that ever use it. But it just become a part of our tradition to have Vacation Bible School in the park. This year we're going to do something a little bit different. We usually do it during the week. This year we're going to try doing it on a Friday, a Saturday, and a Sunday. And it's first come, first served, so, but there's a lot of park.
There you go.
So, it's always worked out very well, and all of you guys have been very accommodating and helpful with that. So on behalf of First Baptist Church, I would like to thank you all for that.
Very good. Thank you very much. Anything else? Also like to add commend the city workers for everything they do leading up to the 4th of July celebration, and also commend you for taking the time to go over to Highmore to help our neighbor when in need. So I want to thank each of you for that. Any additional input? Okay, and I just, again, I would urge everybody to, every time I see a young toddler or young person on a bike, or even an older person, just to stay diligent with regard to their safety as well as everyone else's, okay? Department head reports on page 5 through 7. Any questions on that? Any input with regard to department heads? Actually, the department head reports on page just 8, I think. No, it's not. I think it just was one page, if I remember correctly. Did I see that? Any questions? Anything? Okay. All right, moving on. Unfinished business. Entertain a motion to update the bank signature cards to remove Alderman Price and add Alderman Gobb.
So moved. Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, motion is made and second to update the bank signature cards, removing Alderman Price and adding Alderman Gobb. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries.
Abstained. Second.
Okay, 2 abstain. All right, now, we're, pages 8 through 15. These, it's always interesting to go through these. Basically, they're a review of the South Dakota Open Meeting Law brochure. Per 2025, which is a South Dakota bill, or Senate Bill 74. And it's always nice to go through them and make sure the things that we're doing correctly. Both of them, that has both question and answers, and then they also have some codified law with regard to each of them. So anyway, I encourage everybody to stay on top of that with regard to that. Any questions? Okay. Hearing none, we're going to have the first reading of 2 ordinances, then we'll temporarily adjourn as a common council and convene as a board of adjustments on the zoning one. I will read through these, but the parentheses, what's at the bottom in parentheses with the ordinance and the dates, those are just reference points with regard to the changes that are being made, so I will not read that part of the ordinance. Ordinance number 770, an ordinance amending sections 38.
Let's do 769 first.
I pulled out the wrong one first, okay. All right. Ordinance number 769, an ordinance amending section 38-361, 38-362, 38-363, and 38-364 of the ordinance of the City of Miller, South Dakota. Be it ordained by the City of Miller, South Dakota, that sections 38-361, 38-362, 38-363, and 38-364 are hereby amended to read as follows. 38-361, dates of monthly meter reading. The city personnel, as directed by the City Electric Department, shall read the electrical meters every month on or about the first day of the month and deliver the readings to the city finance officer. 38-362, computation and mailing of bills. The city finance officer shall compute the bills and mail the same to the consumers monthly on or about the 5th day of the month following the meter readings. In the event that a consumer requests that electricity service be discontinued, the meter shall be read at that time and billed accordingly. 38-363, payment due date. All consumers' bills shall be due on the 25th day of the same month and shall become delinquent on the 26th day of that same month. All delinquent consumer bills shall be assessed a 5% penalty on the unpaid balance. Customers enrolled in automatic pay, that's auto pay, shall have payments processed on the 20th day of each month or the next business day if the 20th falls on a Saturday, Sunday, or holiday. 38-364, delinquent notification for non-payment. When a consumer bill becomes delinquent, a delinquent notice will be included on the utility bill, informing them that the delinquent balance must be paid by the first day of the following month. If said bill is still unpaid by the first day of the month or the next business day, if the event the first falls on Saturday, Sunday, or holiday, the city electric department shall be instructed and authorized to disconnect the electric service to said consumer. Fees and charges required under this chapter shall be in the amount provided in the city fee schedule. This ordinance shall be in full force and effect so as to commence and include all electrical billings beginning with the electric usage for the month of October 2026. I'd entertain a motion to approve ordinance 769.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. I'm gonna have one thing here. When that follow, is that follow right, Cindy? I think it, first day following the month. That's okay there? Okay. All right. Motion is made and second to approve ordinance number 768. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Now, ordinance number 770, an ordinance amending sections 38-35, 38-36, 38-37, and 38-38 of the ordinances of the city of Miller, South Dakota. Be it ordained by the city of Miller, South Dakota, that sections 38-35, 38-36, and 38-37 and 38-38 are hereby amended to read as follows. 38-35, dates of monthly meter readings. City personnel, as directed by the city water department, shall read the water meters every month on or about the 20th day of the month and deliver the reading to the city finance office. 38-36, computation and mailing of bills. The city finance officer shall compute the bills and mail the same to the consumers monthly on or about the 5th day of the month following the meter reading. In the event a consumer requests that the water service be discontinued, the meter shall be read at that time and billed accordingly. 38-37, payment due date. All consumer bills shall be due on the 25th day of the same month and shall become delinquent on the 26th day of that same month. All delinquent consumer bills shall be assessed a 5% penalty on the unpaid balance. Consumers enrolled in the auto pay, shall have payments processed on the 20th day of each month or the next business day, if the 20th falls on a Saturday, Sunday, or holiday. 28-28, delinquent notice for non-payment. When a consumer bill becomes delinquent, a delinquent notice will be included on the utility bill informing them that the delinquent balance must be paid by the first day of the following month. If said bill is still unpaid by the first day of the month or the next business day, in the event the first falls on a Saturday, Sunday, or a holiday, the city water department shall be instructed and authorized to disconnect the water service to said consumer. Fees and charges required under this chapter shall be in the amount provided in the city fee schedule. This ordinance shall be in full force and effect so as to commence and include all water billings beginning with the water usage for the month of October 2026. I'd entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 770.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Hearing none, motion is made and second to approve the ordinance number 770. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Temporarily, we will temporary adjournment of the Common Council and convene as the Board of Adjustments for the first reading of ordinance 771. Ordinance number 771, an ordinance to amend ordinance number 448 of the City of Miller, amending the official zoning map to include certain property in light of commercial zoning district. Be it ordained by the Common Council of the City of Miller, South Dakota. The official zoning map of the City of Miller, South Dakota be amended to include the part of the northeast quarter, 15-112-68, formerly described as lots 10, 11, 12, and the south one-half of Lot 13, Block 20, South Miller, now vacated, City of Miller, County of Han, South Dakota, also known as 316 South Broadway Avenue, and be designated in the light commercial zone district. This amendment to zone the described property from the residential district to a light commercial district is conditioned upon the property continue to be used as an office space for selling insurance and investments, and as an Airbnb as a secondary use, dated the 6th day of July 2026. I would entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 771.
So move.
Second.
Discussion. Hearing none, motion is made and second to approve ordinance number 771. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. We will now adjourn as the Board of Adjustments and reconvene as the Common Council. Item number 5, G-Works ACH payment processing fees. The question is, will the city continue to absorb the fee or pass it on to the consumer? What's this, for everybody's information, the current city absorbs 55 cents transaction. G-Works will increase the fee to $3 per transaction effective August 9th, 2026. And Cindy has you have those numbers that, and that's basically the question. I think we still have time to think about that, but we went through she shared basically the cost difference.
Okay, so based off of the 2025 transactions for January through December, in January, we had 313 transactions. Those were 313 utility accounts that were paid via ACH, using a person's checking account information. Currently, we absorb that fee at the 55 cents. So over the year, we absorbed $21.60, which is spread out into the base fees of water, sewer, and electric, water, sewer, and electric. It's going up to $3. Using these same figures, it's going to add up to $11,781, a difference of $9,600 a year. If you split that among the departments, $3,200 will need to be built into the base fees to account for that increase. Or you pass it on to the customers. According to G-Works, most of their customers choose to pass it on to their utility customers.
People don't have to pay by ACH. I think pass it on to them. If they don't want to pay that $3 fee, then they can drop a check off.
Yeah, because that's all,
Agreed.
that's all they need to do is just bring a voided check, correct? And change the way they're billed,
No, that would
No.
be,
or is that the ACH?
That is
That
the
is- yeah.
ACH.
Okay, but if you sign up for the portal,
That's the ACH.
okay, it doesn't matter then.
Right.
Okay, because it used to be,
We used to do it the old way where we had them bring in the voided check. Well, that gave us power over their account information. We
Okay.
want to be more secure in that world where they just have that power on the portal. We don't know their account numbers anymore.
okay, all right, so it used to be, I was confused.
But
No,
they
it
can
used to be
still
that.
bring in a physical check for the dollar amount that they owe.
Yeah, they can write a check and drop it off. Or send it in the mail, but at this point, we don't honor the postage date. So if it doesn't get here in time, it's late.
That's all right.
And the current incentive to get them signed up for ACH is, okay, well, we'll waive your late penalty if you sign up for ACH. Well, it's all more power to the customer because it's a free service right now.
Right.
Free.
And the concern we have for the customer with regard to the, you know, in some cases, the postal department may not have that in the time that beats the deadline.
We have a Dropbox though, don't we?
Yeah,
Okay.
okay,
There's a lot of ways that people
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
pay their bills online.
Yeah.
I think it's all right.
yeah. But you know, just to get the information to our constituents and utility users that
Yeah.
this would probably the best possible way is just drop it in the Dropbox or bring it up to the city hall.
Yeah.
Is there a way to pass on that fee to the people utilizing the ACH payment method
Yes,
and not the people that are dropping the checks off?
right.
Right,
What-
you only
Yep.
charge the ACH.
Oh, yeah.
charge.
So it happens right at the time.
Right, and I
that the
agree with that. I
ACH
just didn't know if there's a
processed.
way to separate it in the billing process where it's,
We never really, we don't see it on our books when it's passed on to the customer. So
Oh,
when
okay.
they initiate that ACH payment online,
It'll probably
what
give
they will
them,
see on their side is the payment made that will come to us, plus that additional $3, which will come out in their
Oh,
checking.
that
We
seems-
never see that.
okay, that
It
seems pretty
goes
simple then.
directly to the processor.
Yeah, that's very simple.
I want to clarify, I have a question.
Somebody else might share that same question.
And frankly, this is why I have a job that doesn't require me to use a calculator on a daily basis, because I just don't care. But I've got a treasurer at the church that will care. And that is this: if you add the $3 to it, will that be reflected in the bill, or will be the bill and then there will be the $3 charge for processing?
So you're not gonna see the $3 on your utility billing statement.
Okay,
It will be at the time that you initiate that transaction online. So you'll need to print off that payment confirmation. It should itemize
okay.
your total.
Well, that's the answer that I will give the treasurer.
There
you go.
Okay, thank you.
I know a lot of times if you do ACH online anymore, if there's a fee, it'll say, we're gonna add a whatever percentage or $3 fee. Do you want to continue?
Right.
So don't know if that's gonna be on there as a, another notice or whatever, but that's,
As far as I know, it is.
okay, perfect.
It'll be on your bank statement.
Yeah, you'll know.
You'll know.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
What's needed from the council?
I,
If you want to make a motion to pass that on to the customer, you can. But as of right now, the email I got from G-Works was that they are just going to do it that way anyway. We have to ask them
Not to.
to not pass it
If-
on to the customer and have it,
if
us
we want
absorb
to.
the fee.
I make a motion to pass on that $3 a transaction to the customer.
discussion. Hearing none, motion is made and second to pass on the $3 transaction for G-Works on to the customers in payment of their utility bills. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Okay, item number 6. Without objection, do you want to do these all together, or do you want to separate them?
Can you separate them?
We can separate them.
Or at least separate the last one?
Yep.
Make a motion to approve building permits A and B.
Second.
Discussion. Hearing none, motion has been made and second to approve A, which is Paul Koss Porch at 608 East First Avenue, and David Vitters, a carport at 804 East Third Street. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Now, entertain one for C. I understand now why, so.
I'll make a motion to approve, building permit for Eli and Macy Jones fence at 218 West Sixth Street.
Second.
Discussion. Hearing none, motion is made and seconded to approve Eli and Macy Jones building permit for a fence at 218 West Sixth Street. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries.
Abstain.
Make a note that Alderman Jones abstained from the
I was
vote.
gonna ask during discussion, but we didn't have any issues with any building permit that I saw on the,
No, I mean, Paul went back up on there after he cleaned up,
Yep.
the trees and everything, and so I didn't feel comfortable until I went for you guys to
Approve it.
authorize that building permit.
perfect. Just wanna make sure we
Okay.
didn't miss something.
All right. Any other questions? Okay, going on. Item number 7, Phase 4 Water Project, SPN invoice 388809 and 38812 for a total of $8,157.60. 88809 is for the water improvement, and the 38809 is for that, and the 38812 is for the water main and sanitary improvement.
If
I
you're-
move approve invoices 38809 and 38812 for a total of $8,157.60.
Just to clarify.
Just to clarify, it's two.
That's 38809 through.
Through, yes,
38812.
yes, thank you.
There's 4 total
For
invoices.
total invoices, yes, thank you.
Second if we didn't have it.
Okay. Have motions, discussion. Okay, and the first two would be for the water improvements. The last one, or the last two, one would be the water main, the other one would be sanitary improvement. Okay. Motion is made and second to approve Phase 4 Water Project, SPN invoices 38809 through 38812 for the total of $8,157.60. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Perfect timing.
Look at that.
Okay.
Brooks and Deb. ACEC. Kind of forgot about that. I tried to stick her with it, but
Okay,
that backfired on me.
yeah. For our listening audience, you can introduce yourself and then we'll go from there.
All right, my name's Mike Schmidt with Helms and Associates, principal project engineer for your ongoing apron and tax lane projects, and then for your automated weather observing system that we're still just waiting on the grant for. But tonight, talking about the amendment for our engineering services. This amendment is to add in an Exhibit A update for your airport. So an Exhibit A is the property map for your entire airport. Goes through and looks at all of the parcels of land, which there's about 14 of them, it looks like. One thing that we did in ALP a few years back on an airport layout plan, sorry, I'm gonna use acronyms, so if I say something you don't understand, just stop me and I'll do that, because I have a tendency of stating them a lot. They look at your property, they wanna make sure you got good title of your property, the city owns the appropriate property. One thing that the FAA has really pushed in now is not only good title, but clean title, so like looking at encumbrances that may or may not be recorded out there, whether it's utility lines, things like that. The FAA requires that we don't do that work. So they want like an abstract title professional, which is ProSource, who's who we have listed as our sub-consultant as part of this Exhibit A update. Just a little record, you know, we initially reached out to them at the direction of the FAA. The FAA's worked with this company on a lot of airports throughout the region, Minnesota primarily, but we first got the proposal back from them. We said, that's a nice number, go ahead and try again. So we had to kind of revamp the scope, and the big scope revision is the FAA initially wanted us to look at, so in your airport layout plan, we lay out what you have existing and future improvements, runway extensions, hangar area expansions, things like that, turf crossman runway, which would require land purchase of different parcels of ground to accommodate those expansions. Well, the FAA really wanted to look at, hey, let's look at those areas as well with this Exhibit A update for encumbrances and stuff. And we push back with the FAA on that, saying, once you go through that process, and if you've ever been through a land acquisition process, it's not something that's gonna happen overnight. It's gonna take multiple years of, you know, appraisals and negotiations, buying the land, environmental assessments. That's the time to do those encumbrance reports on those. Let's not, you know, it could be 30 years before the city ever decides to do something like that, and we're gonna have to do it again anyway. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to pay to do it twice, right? So they agreed to just look at the existing property, so that dropped their price down significantly from about half of the cost, getting that work out of there. So we estimated, just off the cuff, so I'm gonna back up one quick second. We discussed this at the airport's, your annual CIP meeting
It's something the FAA was driving because we have a small window of eligibility where they can include it in a project right now. This year makes the most sense to include that because this is a 95% federal year, 2.5% local, 2.5% city or state. So next year it bumps back to 90% and 5% local, 5% state. So if the city had the airport improvement program dollars or airport improvement grant dollars to do it, this was the best year to do that work. So this is not the only airport we're doing this in. We've got about 7 or 8 different airports. Some just, they didn't have the funds to do it. We'll have to do it at some other time. But the eligibility right now makes it eligible. We don't know what that's going to be in 2 years. No one can promise us that. So we want to get this taken care of, especially at a 2.5% city cost. So the total is $59,172. I do have the engineer's estimate. We had initially, when we submitted the grant application, we estimated at 50, but you do have administration in there, so kind of like contingency fund within your grants. So this exceeds that by a little bit, but I do have a strong feeling with the contractor that's doing your AWAS project. Our construction engineering and construction administration numbers are going to come in under budget that will cover that overage. I do have a strong feeling that'll happen. Company we're working with is Ephraimson Electric. We've worked with them on several of these projects. They get in, get it out, and get it done quick, and we don't need to spend a lot of time on site. So I do feel we're going to see some savings there.
Say it does come in at the full engineer's estimate, like your hunch is.
We're like
then-
$1,000 off.
Okay, and then at that point,
You would be able to
That part
get, you would
is-
be able to get an amendment on your grant to cover
okay.
that. So it's not anything that you're not going to get funded. They would amend your grant
okay,
next year and reimburse you for any overages. So if it came in exactly as my engineer's estimate is, you'd have a shortfall of, let's see, less than $1,000.
okay.
So, and you would be able to get a grant amendment from the FAA for that.
Okay,
So,
any questions? Okay, hey, I'm going to read through the amendment. Amendment number 2 to the agreement for professional services for AIP number 3-46-0035-018-2026. The agreement for professional services dated April 8, 2025, by and here between the City of Miller, South Dakota, as owner, and Helms and Associates, a division of Schumacher, Schmucker, thank you, I know that. Paul Knorr and Associates Incorporated as engineer, hereinafter referred to as the Agreement for Professional Services for Improvements known as the Miller Municipal Airport, AWAS 3P. Hereinafter referred to as the project is hereby amended as follows. A, whereas the owner of the requests the engineer to provide the following services for the project. 1, update the airport property inventory maps services to describe in Exhibit A of Amendment 2. B, the owner and the engineer agreed that the engineer shall be paid as described in Attachment B, Section 5 of Amendment Number 2, lump sum compensation, with the following costs to be added to the project. 1, Exhibit A update, the cost of $59,172.19. These costs are summarized in Amendment B, page B7. Therefore, the agreement for professional services is hereby amended to add the fees listed in paragraph B of the amendment to those in the agreement. The new totals for all services are itemized on Amendment 2, Attachment B. I would entertain a motion to approve the amendment number 2 as proposed by Helms and Associates.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, motion is made to approve amendment number 2 to the Helms and Associates for the project of the airport. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries.
yeah, so and just to refresh your memory, so this total project is gonna be around $385,000, so it's $9,600, so less than a $10,000 city investment for this whole thing. And then, Cindy, can I touch real quick on what the state just did with the AWASs? Have you kind of been with the contract?
Oh, as far as the
With
inspections?
Yeah, the inspections.
I have not discussed that, so
I don't want to take your thunder
go
though.
ahead, no.
So the last Aeronautics Commission, so with an AWAS, you have to do quarterly and annual inspections out there by a certified person. It's about $8,000 a year, give or take, depending on where you're at in the state and where they're coming from. The state's been working on it and finally kind of got it through where they sent out requests for proposals to group all the airports, because there's going to be, after this year, probably over 20 airports that have these AWAS systems in. So they want to bring one individual or one entity in and do all of the airports, help drive the cost down for each airport. And the Aeronautics Commission did vote to cover 75% of those costs for the cities. So that's a huge, instead of $8,000, now you might be looking at $1,500, $2,000, whatever. I don't know what the total cost came in, how it's going to break down per airport, but that was good news for the local cities that have these AWAS systems. So, sorry, Cindy, I did not mean to steal your thunder. I just want to touch on if they had questions. You can.
I think I
you-
forwarded your emails to the airport
Yeah.
committee, but I haven't.
So, but
I'd like to thank you and Helms for all you do for our airport with
It's-
regard to, the working relationship we have with you, with the South Dakota, transportation with the airport and also the federal. I enjoy those meetings each year that we're able to come up. So far, I've enjoyed.
so far, we've had really good
yes.
news out of yes. No, it's been a great partnership, and you guys have a fantastic team with Cindy and Terry, and you guys as council members. Your committee is always very active, so we appreciate it. It's a lot of fun working here.
Very good.
All right,
Thank you.
guys.
Safe trip.
Thank you.
You bet.
Thanks for traveling down.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Item number 11 is the employee.
We need to go
We
back
gotta
up to
go
eight.
back
go
and
back to
do 8
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we
I
can
knew.
do it.
and 9.
Okay, yeah, for some reason I went down to the airport and did that. The swimming pool,
Let's do Helms and Associates invoices, number 8.
gotcha. Why did I go down? Okay, Helms and Associate invoices 38,698 and 38,703 for the total of $4,334.43. That's for the taxiway and AWAS 3. I'd entertain a motion to approve that payment.
So move.
Second.
Discussion. Hearing none, motion made and approved, seconded to approve the Helms Associates invoices 38,698 and 38,703 for the total of $4,334.43. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. I jumped to get Mike in, okay. Swimming pool project advertised to rebid. The 29th meeting, we felt we'd benefit by opening the bid up again. Because there was not a favorable bid for the pool. So I'd entertain a motion to advertise to rebid for a swimming pool project.
I'll make a motion to advertise to rebid for our swimming pool.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, motion is made and second to advertise to rebid for the swimming pool project. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. I seen the Helms and I jumped right down to the airport, so my fault. Okay, now, number 11, the employee policy manual. This actually, correct me if I'm wrong, came from our recommendation when we went through the audit. And all we're doing is including something. Basically, the life insurance policy, that second paragraph, basically the city provides an additional group life insurance policy in the amount of $10,000 life. The city pays 100% of the policy premium. The employee has the option to buy up and/or purchase coverage for their spouse and/or their dependent children. Now, that first paragraph stays the same, but the second paragraph just more or less an additional, because it wasn't really specified. There was an assumption it was an additional, but there's a recommendation that we put that in.
Anything from the council on that, or is that just a clarification?
We
I-
need a
I think motion,
that
yes.
amends the policy manual.
I make a motion to amend the policy manual for the policy 6.5.2 in regard to life insurance.
Okay.
Second.
Discussion. Hearing none, motion is made and seconded to update the employee policy manual to clarify the number 6.5.2 life insurance. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Item number 3, the electrical department wages. Compensation for completion of the NWLC final exam, fully certified, and then set up appropriate wages for Andrew Knox.
What are you looking for?
Who's that?
A motion to approve that statement or the specific?
Well, I tell you, I came in and asked why this wasn't first in executive session, so there can be some proposals and then discussion, and then come out in regular session to go ahead and approve it. I mean,
Cause that was, the way, I don't know if you're listed as the head, but I had a conversation with Cindy of, because we're not doing any performance-based wages, we're doing the payment structure of that department.
Okay.
It needs to be done in open meeting. We're not discussing, individual performance. So that's why we need to keep it in open meeting.
very good. I'm
So
okay.
in our committee meeting, we had discussed, when we had put that pay schedule together, we had not included the final books. And so, as a committee, we like the idea of giving a raise for completion of those final books. And then also adjusting Andrew's wages
Okay.
to stay in line with
The other employees in that department.
projected future wages.
It was just an oversight when we did that pay structure last year, when we set up the books for the completed lineman portion of it. I personally, as well, didn't, realize about the final exam. Yes, there's 4 books, but then there's a final test over all of them, and that's what we're adding.
Okay.
And I think it was actually our intent at the time to have that be in there, we just didn't specify that.
Okay.
And it's not really a big change.
Okay. Do you want to put numbers with that, or just leave that as a,
In committee, we discussed of keeping it the same as the rest of the structure at $3 an hour for that final exam. And then that would be, their completed journeyman at that point.
very good.
And then, let's just do the first portion of it first.
Okay.
So, people that weren't in the committee meeting, discuss questions that go from there.
So just, like, $3 an hour from what they are now for taking the final test.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because, yeah, there's
No
4
different than
books.
taking a test on a
Yeah.
book.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's just we missed that there was a whole
Yep,
other
yep.
test.
No, yeah,
Yeah. So
Sounds good.
we discussed of keeping it the same as the $3 an hour.
I
for
think
that
that's fair,
final.
yep.
Yeah.
So,
So it's just more or less, okay, I'm all right.
Treating it as it was any other book.
Yep,
Yeah. Okay.
so I'd make the motion to add on that $3 an hour, completion certification
For the final test.
for a passed final test.
Second.
Okay. Discussion. Okay, motion made and second to add on a $3 completion for the final exam for the North NWLC final exam. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. And then the wages for Andrew is,
We had a lot of discussion on that. I don't have it written down in front of me what numbers we kind of settled on.
It was another 3, I believe it was 3 and 3, correct?
3 and 3? Okay.
So even if there was no cost of living adjustments for the next 3 years, when Andrew goes through this entire structure, he was going to be behind what the current employees are already at, according to this pay structure. So he was hired at just too low of a rate, so he's going to be behind the industry average wage for his position. So instead of adding extra to any one book, we were just going to do an adjustment now.
I'll make a motion to give Andrew Knox a $3 raise.
Second.
Discussion.
We need to have the exact dollar per hour. And I don't know what he makes right now.
Right now, it makes $29.51.
Okay.
Before we gloss over that, any discussion,
Yeah.
the non-committee members, before we just,
I think that's probably pretty fair.
did I explain that the right way of,
Yeah,
we're just behind on his because he got hired a little low?
Okay, all right.
Will that put him up with Hayden then?
It makes it much more even, yes. So once he goes through all of the books and all that, then they're gonna be much more even paced. Whereas right now, if we don't do anything, then he's going to be much behind Hayden at the end of his completion.
Okay, so you made a motion to increase his salary $3,
Yes.
is that right?
Which brings it to $22.51 an hour.
22.51.
32.
32.
32, I'm so sorry,
32.
32.
51.
Yeah.
We're gonna cut him $10. He wouldn't be happy with that. Neither would
Okay.
we.
Okay, motion is made and second to increase Andrew Knox's salary by $3 an hour to a total of $32.51 per hour. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries.
Make sure you're paying attention.
Go ahead.
First of all, I want to thank you for doing that. I appreciate that. The other question I have is, we usually do this, that doesn't come into effect until your anniversary date. My anniversary date was the end of March. Hayden's will be July 8th. So I had mine done, Hayden got his done. Obviously, I went by since my anniversary date because I was waiting for this to happen, basically, to figure out what you guys were gonna come up with what that book was worth. So I guess my question is can I get back paid from my anniversary date since I missed them months?
To put some history, it was brought up to the committee at that time. We just had a lot of city business going on at that time. So it's not like it wasn't brought up, but we had not discussed any of this in committee. So this is pure council discussion at this point.
And again, I thank you for looking at the department and keeping us where we need to be, because I really feel like that is gonna help the future and maintain, so.
So Hayden would be his start, or the effective date would be his anniversary date
His anniversary date
in
is July.
tomorrow or 2 days, whatever the 8th is.
Yep.
So then it's just up for discussion on if we're doing it immediately or back paying to the previous anniversary date.
And like I said, I was trying to get ahead of it. I know you guys are busy, so I didn't push, but I know, like Will was saying, we did talk about this last year, trying to have an idea what we were gonna do moving forward on that final exam, so.
I'm fine back paying it. We've been discussing this for
Months.
months. It's just taken this long to get. I think if memory serves right, we've done that with other employees where we missed raises that were
Anniversaries.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
actually what we did with Andrew last year, I think in May, cause I don't think we had the structure set. And then that's what we did there, I believe, or one of them. I've had a few employees, and that's why I try to be proactive in watching the rates, so I don't have to keep having more employees.
I think
So-
we did that with somebody's,
We've done it several times, I
with
remember the
their
precedents.
probationary raise that they get. We've missed that in the past, and it was brought to our attention, we did go back and pay that, I think.
I think that's the right thing to do too. I mean, even though it's past your anniversary, you should get paid for it, compensated
Well,
for it.
I realize, I mean, that you guys had other things going on.
But it's also on us to make it right too, so. I'll make the motion to do it according to this year's anniversary dates,
Retroactively.
retroactively.
I'd appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for everything.
Second.
Discussion. Hearing none, motion is made and second to grant Dustin the retroactive increase on his anniversary date. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. This is just for me. Sometimes when we talk about personnel and wages and things like that, and I think we did a good job here, but sometimes it be an executive session, it just helps maybe something to be a little bit more said, but I don't think this, I think this was just, something was discussed and just an oversight and things of that sort, so I think we're okay there, so, anything?
Just follow the rules.
Anything else? All right, entertain a motion to approve the bills.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, motion is made to approve the bills. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none. Motion made and second to adjourn tonight's meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. We're adjourned.
7:50.
The train still runs in Miller.
I think my notes are still in the.
I need to talk to you too.
Peacock meeting, I threw them in that envelope. It's still in there.